I'm always jamming behind the scenes. I was like, just give a little fun little preview.
I don't look, man. I'm just saying, it never gets old. Every week gets better.
Yeah. Yeah, ton of fun. So hey, how are you doing, Logan? How's everybody out there in Lorcana land doing?
Look, man. Whispers in the Well has come out, so regardless of how Monday actually went, I got to come home and remember the Whispers in the Well is out. I don't have to play another day of Fabled Core Constructed.
Oh
Um,
man.
Not to say that like I disliked Fabled, but my God, is Whispers so much more fun.
What is everybody says that, and I didn't play a ton in Fabled, I admit. I was doing a lot of commentary, so I didn't have a chance to actually pick up decks. I did some, but why is let's just explore that right away. Like, why is Whispers so much better?
So we just have more tools, right? I mean, last set it was very much so. If you're going to an event, you're like playing the matchup roulette, right? Do you run into your worst matchup that you're not able to get through, or does your opponent, even if it is a bad matchup or a good matchup, even do they have all the answers that stop you? I just kind of felt like there were so many situations. It was like, well, if you have it, then like there's literally nothing I can do. We have a lot more agency now. There are a lot more cards that can come back if you have fallen behind on the board. We have a new damaging spell. There's a new board wipe in the game. But then there are ways to play around those things as well. I genuinely like we went from a meta where if you weren't playing one of like 4 decks and then dogs explicitly going into like a field that you were hoping to run into like Amber Steel and Blurple. Um, we've gone from that to there's just a lot of possibilities.
It
Blurple,
does feel like the Wild West right now.
yeah, Blurple's fallen off quite a bit. I think it's fallen behind in what it can do. Emerald Sapphire has the new tools in Prince Philip and Malicious Mean and Scary. Emerald Amethyst has a few variants that are out there. Sapphire Steel has a very strong variant right now. Ruby Amethyst has got some tools and is coming back. There's like another build of Amber Emerald that's running Circle of Life that can do really well. Um, Amethyst Steel got more tools, so now we can build it to be something that's not just like a dock deck trying to do better. Um, I don't know, dude. Like it's a lot of fun. There are a lot of very very relevant cards this set, um, and a lot of cards that have just changed what we expect from like the base stats of a cost. So like, most of the time you think of a 3 cost and you're like, all right, well if it's a 3 cost, it's probably like a 2/4, a 3/4, maybe. And that's kind of like the baseline. Now we have 3 costs that are 4/4s. Now we have 3 costs that are 3/4s that have boost that have like a bell effect that allow you to do other things. We have 3 costs that you can boost and give it more damage, more willpower. Like I don't know. It's just a lot of fun. There's a lot to explore. I feel like in Fabled, when week 1 hit, we kind of already figured out more or less what the Blurple deck was going to be going forward. And now, like, I think we are so far away from figuring out what's going to be good. And I genuinely think we have the tools to, even when something does start to rise, we can just adjust and start to change cards here or there to attack certain archetypes way better than we could in Fabled.
Yeah. Yeah, no, well said. I've been, as you're talking, I'm listening. I'm also monitoring the chat because as soon as I said something about like why is Fabled so good, the chat just blew up. People love this set apparently. Shout out, by the way, if you're watching live, like shout out to all of you out there, Fairy Queen Tank and Princess Natkins. Mo, of course, is in the chat because there's so many cool people. And then one person on Facebook, oh no, they're gone. Marco is here. ABBC is here again this week. RMB, of course, hanging out. Just felt the Blue Steel conversation about to happen. Cole is here. So, hey, if I missed your name, I'm sorry. There's a lot of people. So, throughout the show, if you all have any questions, feel free to chat with us. That's the fun of the live show. I wasn't sure how to pronounce your name. I said Kazette, but I'm not sure. Kathria doesn't yeah. I know.
Cassette?
Cassette. That's what I went with. That's what I
Maybe.
went with. But no, I really enjoyed like seeing this week. I was actually excited to see like jump into Inkdex, over the weekend and see what was out there. And unsurprisingly, not a ton of set 10 tournaments yet. Even Lorca Quest, huge tournament this weekend was running set 9, which makes sense. It's just not a lot of time for people to get cards. But there were a couple events that happened this weekend where we got a peek at where things were going. Sharp Gaming trying to run their release tournament this weekend I heard it was a fantastic event. Turn out a little lower than they would have wanted, but 50 some odd players came out and some very competitive players. And we're going to have 2 of those players on here tonight. Mo Shamlin will join us in a little bit. And the, Cobbett, like Smurfette. Okay. And then we'll also have the winner of the event here as well, which we're really excited about. So, and then I don't want to talk about Enigmatic Incaster. There's a whole story there that I'll get into. But yeah, so and then there was one as well, the Dutch Open in, or I can't say it, Utrecht.
I'm not even going to try.
Okay, that one, the one. Frank Carson played there as well as some other folks.
Yep.
Big event, and we got some data out of there, so we'll take a look at those decks as well. But
if I'm not mistaken, the finals was Emerald, Sapphire, and Sapphire. No, Blurple. Emerald, Sapphire, and Blurple, I think.
Let me double check. I know Blurple was up there. I think that's right.
I'm fairly certain that's what the finals was.
Yeah, I think that's right. And then Emerald Sapphire won. And then Frank Karsten brought in a really fun. He took his Amethyst Steel and just tweaked it, added some stuff, and then piloted it to third. So
yeah,
we'll look at his deck as well later on. Because
I genuinely think like I don't know. So while I'm not surprised that a lot of set 10 events didn't happen, like I almost went to Sharp Gaming. I'm gonna be so honest with you. Because I got all of my product Friday night after work, because I live in Iowa now, I had to drive an hour and a half to go pick up my product. So that was a fun difference from Pittsburgh. Had I not spent 3 hours, 4 hours opening all of the sets, I was genuinely thinking of going to the Sharp Gaming event, but then I wouldn't have had the cards I needed to play. And I don't know. By the time I went to sleep,
I'm too busy opening boxes to play.
Yeah, like by the time I opened all my boxes and like saw what I had to see what I could work with, it's a 6-hour drive. It was 3 a.m. and I was like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm just not. So I'll have to make the next one because I am legitimately so close. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was watching the event and I just had huge FOMO. I wish I had just chosen to not sleep and gone anyway.
Oh, you would have been a zombie here tonight.
Yeah,
but no, it is a fun event, and I'm actually bummed I didn't go as well. But I just had to do some family time this weekend. So, yeah, and I to be honest, like, and this is deviating from the meta conversation a little bit, but there was a period like this summer where to get ready for Worlds, and then in the immediate aftermath with Sharp Gaming and some others, like I was gone probably like 7 out of 8 weekends, and I really had to make a decision to like scale it back and like prioritize like CCS, PPG, to prep for challenges, and then challenges if I continue to get booked for those. And so I had to say no to Sharp, some others, Ink, if you're watching, sorry, I haven't committed to that yet. There's just so many that I want to do, but I really need to like start to balance family time a little bit more. So working on that. But it was fun. Like today, like I had the day off of work, and rather than drop Elena off at daycare because the daycare was open, I just did like a daddy-daughter day, and we went to Children's Museum, and then we baked cupcakes, and it was really, really good.
That's awesome.
Should have been editing a video, but it was good to kind of take the day and do that. So
look, the fun thing that I tell everybody, like there's always the people who have the, man, I wish I could do more, I wish I could do whatever, but real life is catching up to me. Like, you have to always understand that at the end of the day, this is a hobby. At the end of the day, this is something that we do apart from real life. This is kind of an escape from all of that. So the second that this starts to infringe on or overtake real life or family or things like that, like it's time to just take a break, and that's fine. Real life before games always, because the game will always be here, but family time is something you can never get back.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. So, but we did do a fun. Oh, I'm trying to deal with mod stuff on Twitch. But we did do a fun thing on Sunday. Now I need to check. Sorry. So we did do a fun thing on Sunday ages ago. I say ages ago, but it's for Arcasia's Island. We did a video where we tried to collect an entire foil set of Arcasia's Island in 4 hours or less. And the rules were one, we opened one box that we had to kind of seed the binder and to build some like trade chaff. And then the goal was to trade for as many cards as possible, buy them if we had to. And yeah, and we learned a lot. We learned a lot of stores don't stock their singles opening weekend. That was tough. And we ended up, if anybody watched our last video, we ended up missing by, I think, 7 cards. And it was pretty heartbreaking. And so I thought that was a one and done because it took like, I don't know, it took like 7 weeks to edit and it was a lot. It's also very expensive. Collecting foils on opening weekend is a terrible idea. Terrible idea.
It's so difficult.
Yeah. And it's expensive because everything's inflated. And because everybody's speculating and it's terrible. So, but 2 things happened. One, a bunch of folks in our community kept asking us, like, when are we going to get to do it again? Because it felt like, all of a sudden, it felt like a community challenge. And we didn't realize that was going to happen, but like members of our community were like invested in it, and they like were upset that like the community didn't win. And then I also had some people at a challenge tell us they enjoyed that video. So I was like, you know what, we'll run it back. And we did it again on Sunday, ran around 4 hours, hit 3 game stores, hired a videographer. And I won't say how it went yet because everybody have to watch the video. But if you're in Austin, you know how it went.
No
Scotty,
spoilers.
yeah, Scotty in the chat here knows how it went. So don't tell anybody, like, gotta wait for the video, but it was a ton of fun. But that was our whole like Sunday was just focused on that, and it was nuts. But that's, yeah, so you all were deck building and some people were playing and we were running around like crazy people. Yeah, trading away all of our playables for non-playable foil commons,
Yeah.
But I think there's some people in our community who love it because people are trying to collect their play sets and we're running around with like trading Cinderellas for like bulk like foils and commons and uncommons because they add up, and so it's a really fun way for people to like build their playables. So anyway, yeah, okay. So Brent McKay in the chat. Hey.
Oh, hey.
So,
I feel like I haven't seen Brent in like literal years.
Yeah, I feel like it has been a moment. He did some voice work for one of our shorts recently, which I was pretty excited about.
He did some voice work for a anime I watched. I believe Freerin.
Oh,
I believe he was in that one, and
probably.
I kept very close ear out for him, and then I heard his voice, and I was like, "It's Brent! Oh my gosh!"
Here's the thing about this is another deviation, but Brent, another fantastic creator in the Lorcana space, did some commentary at CCS, an all around great person. Is also a voice actor, did a bunch of stuff, a bunch of anime. And one of the things, like, so my impression of voice actors is generally, I'm like, oh, I can recognize them. Like Alan Tudyk, I can generally recognize an Alan Tudyk voice, even though he's got some pretty big range. So I went through and I watched a bunch of Brent's reels and a bunch of his like highlights. And the dude has such range. Like he goes from this character with like his deep voice doing this thing to like this high pitched character to like this, like and I don't know. I could not tell you a Brent McKay voice at all. It's crazy.
I don't know. Like, now that you bring that up, for instance, you hear like a Kevin Conroy, right? And you're like, it's immediately distinguishable. But somebody with like Brent who has range, I feel like it's a how do I say this without downplaying the skill that wholly admire in both people. Kevin Conroy is obviously like, an iconic voice, just very powerful, very solid. But Brent has the flexibility to fit into a lot of roles that somebody like Kevin, I don't think could. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, it's a very distinct skill to having both a distinct voice that fits a very specific, like, this is what I'm doing, this is what the role is, but then having the range and ability to like morph into what somebody's looking for is a completely different skill altogether. Both take, I mean, just years of honing and practice the craft. I don't know. I'm a big nerd when it comes to the intricacies of behind the scenes animated stuff. Um, and like voice actors, I think is one of the huge unsung heroes that people don't pay enough attention to. Kind of like, we were talking about Lorcana card artists. It's just one of those things that subconsciously you don't really think about because you're enjoying the medium so much.
Yeah.
But then you take a step back and like if you just think about the magic that's happening to make all of the stuff come together, you're just like, wow, there's so much more work getting put into the things that I enjoy than I would ever like sit down and just think about.
Yeah. No, I agree. Um, I agree. I do want to acknowledge JD popping in. JD, we're talking. Good to see you as always. We are going to talk about the meta a little bit here, but of course we went off on a Brent McKay tangent as one does, and started talking about voice acting and his talent, because sometimes you got to.
Sometimes you have to
So,
acknowledge the talented people in your life.
yeah. Yeah. So, on that note, before we pull it back into what people really want to hear about, and talk about the meta a little bit, it's just fun. It's funny you mentioned the all the work that goes into the cards and stuff. If anyone's interested in the design of the game, we did do a design of Whispers of the Well video with the creative lead, Edgar Peston, who is fantastic. Edgar, fun fact about Edgar: Edgar was the art director for set one. Like
Okay.
Matt Ang and some other like Pix was around, and Shane Hartley was doing some stuff. But like Edgar was the one who like did like the entire lift for set one. And Whispers was another one of his sets that he worked on, was the lead for that. And we did an interview with him. The funny thing about design videos is they like art videos, design videos, we've learned do not get many views at all. The Lorcana audience in the YouTube space is very small still relative to other games, and most of that focus and attention goes to either pack openings or competitive play. So we like doing art and design videos. We just have to do them sparingly now because it's very. So if anybody can crack the code on that and let us know like how you'd like us to do it to make it more engaging, let us know. But if you are interested in the design of Whispers of the Well, there's some really interesting narrative nuggets and some background on how the set was created that we just released with Edgar. So that's out there if you'd like. Oh my goodness, Brent, you're gonna have to watch it. You're gonna have to watch it back, Brent. We talked about you for, I don't know, like 4 minutes,
Yeah.
maybe 5.
It can be more. I mean, it can be more.
Yeah, we can just rebrand this week. Let's talk Brent. Is the name of the show this week. Let's talk Brent. Anyway. Okay. I don't know. Should we talk about Whispers?
I would love to talk about Whispers. When I tell you that I have not been excited to play a set in so long, Whispers feels like Rise of the Floodborn all over again. Like just that level of nostalgia of like, man, there's so many cool things I can do in the game. I'm having so much fun with the set. All this set cycle, I'm going to be incredibly loud about the fact that there's just so much variety, man. There's so many cool cards. All the art directions cool. The enchanteds are cool. The new stuff we can play with is cool. The meta I think is going to shape up to be incredibly healthy, way healthier than we had in Fabled. I don't think they missed on any front, to be honest. All of the enchanteds are incredibly playable cards for the most part. Some of the epics are also very playable cards. Some great IPs got introduced in Gargoyles, and my favorite ever, the Black Cauldron. Like, it's so cool. I don't think like anything's going to top this level of excitement for me until we have Buzz Lightyear in the game.
Oh man, it's coming sooner rather than later.
I know.
It's coming. Well, let's talk a little bit more about that. Let's dive in and talk about some of our guests that we've got waiting in the green room, and talk a little bit about what happened this weekend. And that's a good segue to talk a little bit more about the overall meta. So really excited to welcome in for the first time on the show the winner of the Sharps Gaming 10K this weekend. It's Hayden Burrow. Hayden, what's going on? Destroyer of Dreams. That's how, out of all the things you could have labeled yourself,
listen.
That's where you go. I love it. Well, there you go. Hayden, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. A little tired. It was a long weekend of Lorcana, but ready to go. It was really fun.
I mean, anytime you win, it's super fun. Like, was it fun anyway, or is it fun because you ended up crushing people?
It was actually fun anyway, which is surprising because I wasn't really super confident going in, and I kind of expected to lose, and I had some fun matches in the beginning, so I was already enjoying myself before I knew I was going to make it.
That's awesome. I will, before we keep going, and I have to mention, especially since he's here, if you are interested in this conversation and you want to see any of the tournament from this weekend, it was being broadcast by JDZ, who always does a fantastic job on these streams. And so you can probably catch some of Hayden's matches as well as some of the other tournament on JD's VOD. So just make sure, if you're not subscribed, you're following JD already. Of course you are if you're here. But
if you're here, you're following JD.
Of course.
Because what else are you doing with your life?
Of course. I mean, right. But anyway, but you can probably catch some of Hayden's matches there. So I want to shout him out for that. But yeah, so okay, so it was fun. Why? So you took in. We'll take a look at Jack in a second, but you took in Blue Steel, which I feel like is everybody's been talking about it. Everybody's been excited about it. RMB's in the chat freaking out about it. Why Blue Steel, and I don't know what excited you about it.
So, I think I got off work at 7:30 a.m. that morning. I didn't know what I was going to play. I almost played a Cauldron deck, since you mentioned that.
Hold on.
Yeah. But no, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get enough Cinderella.
Okay.
But we ended up doing that, and so at the last minute, we built this deck. We had tested it a lot over the past couple weeks, so we knew it was one of the best picks, and when people wouldn't be as ready for it as they would be the green combo decks. So we decided to play this,
and clearly it worked out for you.
I think it got to utilize the new cards, like the Cinderella, better than the other decks do, because you have so many more princesses in this deck, so you just get a ramp, and all of them are threats. So it seemed like a really strong option.
Yeah. So this deck there's so many new cards. It is, and this is probably going to be emblematic, of Whispers, I'm sure, where because of the limited card pool, this set comes out, the power level is pushed so much that rather than see like one or two cards work their way in, or like, Kendall Burdett carrying in his same deck from previous sets into tournaments and winning, we're just going to have so many fresh cards. And I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 new cards.
Yeah.
Second. So what go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, and some of them were probably just to be playing new cards, like the one of Ink Runner and the one of Mare Wind Dancer. And I will say, I didn't actually build the deck. Another teammate of ours, Matthew, he built the deck. We do play every single day together and practice a lot, so we're in it together, but he was the one who actually built it. But I threw in the Mare Wind Dancer at the end just as a fun one of, to try to play something new.
Just to horse around a little bit.
Yeah, a little
bit. Just we would talk about it tonight. Yeah. I'm trying to now I didn't get to watch much of this weekend, so I'm trying to take a look and diagnose the script of this deck a little bit as I'm looking at it. What is the script? What is the mid game, end game like? We kind of know the start of any Sapphire game. What are you doing?
Yeah, so it's a little bit different now. Cinderella is obviously what you're trying to do. You're trying to ramp on 2 and then play the Cinderella and then get to play one of the really strong 6 drops or 5 drops earlier than you normally would. It turns out a lot of the time, even when I wouldn't open the Cindy, I would end up keeping a second piece of ramp to ramp on 3, just to try to get to the higher cost cards faster and to empty my hand, because a lot of the times you're playing that green deck and you just really the only way you lose is you let them get value off of Clarabelle. So I was just trying to get to the big cost threats faster and play them, and I knew in the end they get more value. Like each one of them goes 2 for 1 most of the time. So that's really where you thrive. You thrive in the simplified game states. So you just want to get there faster.
Yeah.
See, like I looked at this, and the first thing I noticed was like, oh, there's no 1-drops, because like a lot of the early initial thing, you've got the Mulan, who's also a princess, has Cinderella synergies, can filter. So if you're stuck on Beyonds or Hurled or spooky sites, like you can just get it away. What kept you off of just 1-drops in general? Was it space in the deck? Was it you just weren't feeling like you needed the filter?
So again, I actually wasn't the one who put all the cards in the deck at the same time, but I think the reasoning is they're just not high value cards, and the deck doesn't actually have a lot of draw. It just has a lot of filter. So you just need all of your cards to be really impactful and to fulfill the role that they're in there for. Um, so I think the 1-drops like Mulan and specifically, sorry, are good to try to find the Cinderella, but in hindsight, the only 1-drop I think I would have the 1-drop I think I definitely would have played is Develop Your Brain. Um, that card helps you find Cinderella, and it's also good in the mid to late game to play when you have extra ink to find your other bodies. It just makes your deck smaller too. I think I definitely would play that. It's also another action for Horseman. So yeah, I think and that gave me the edge in the blue steel mirror matches. I had to play 3 of our teammates that were on it, and they were all playing the Mulan version, and I just had more total big bodies in my deck. And the blue steel mirrors, you end up almost having to kill every character in their deck because it's just such a back and forth swing session. And so that in the end, they end up drawing Mulan once or twice in the end game, and they lose.
Yeah, that's fair. I can absolutely see that.
Interesting. I mean, if you slug your way, like sometimes, you run a version, somebody else runs a version, you don't have much data to prove. And this is sure it's a limited sample size, but if you had to slug your way through mirrors and, that was what you found that was one of the difference makers, then hard to argue with the results.
Yeah. I think it just works like not playing the 1-drops just helps over the like into the mid to late game. You not having the extra draw in your deck. It just helps the numbers. It helps the numbers work out better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess like my personal only hesitation is like you just completely remove the ability to go 1-drop Tipo 4-drop and threaten to be on the horizon for anybody.
Mhm.
But other than that, like I see the vision, and don't get me wrong, like obviously it worked out.
Yeah,
But
well, no, I think you're right, and there's, like, other ways you could play this deck for sure, and when we were theorizing, like, how I was talking a lot about, like, how do you approach a tournament like this at the beginning of a format, and I think the way you do it is you either wanna be as greedy as possible or try to be as consistent as you can, and I think the green blue decks lean more to the greedier would be the greedy deck I would want to play. And so this seemed like the really consistent deck that has just a bunch of bodies that are the decks that I was playing against didn't have good options to deal with. So yeah, I think that would be the greedier version of this deck, I guess you could say, which would be cool too.
no, for sure. I mean, like, especially if you're like, I think Sapphire Steel now has such a better matchup in anything Steel, just because, I mean, just once you hit, like, if you're able to go ramp into 4-drop, after that, every body you drop has 5+ willpower.
Mhm.
So, like, Steel decks just aren't consistently dealing with every bomb you drop. I mean,
Mhm.
if you go just like, if you go even just sail into 4-drop, you're immediately going Jasmine, Namari, Goliath, Tinkerbell, Hades, Vincenzo, and they're just like, all right, cool. And then like all of a sudden you have 20 willpower on board, and there's just nothing they can do to stop it.
And you're getting a passive +1 every turn if you have Cinderella on the board when you play Namari or Jasmine. And
Yeah,
she's so strong. It's getting a little absurd in my head.
Cinderella.
Yeah,
she's a very good card. Very good card.
and one of the strongest curves the deck would do, like, is when you have to go Cinderella on 3, and then on turn 4 with your 6 ink, don't even play a big body and play the second Cinderella and Visions, and then you just search your deck for 5 cards and then filter twice, and then you're on playing 8 ink next turn, and you're so far ahead. So like it might be bad for the format because I do think it will make it polarizing where mid range might not exist. Like this is probably the most mid range a deck gets, I would say. And this is almost control.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think that's almost. I feel like that line's like almost a high roll to a degree, because Amethyst Steel. I think Amethyst Steel and Emerald Amethyst. I mean, I think there's like a lot of things that just haven't been explored or figured out yet. I think things like Emerald Steel, Emerald Amethyst, and Amethyst Steel have the tools to get around and just go under, and like sometimes put you off because sure, if you get the one activation with Cindy, it's very powerful. But if they stop it and your game plan was to try to do it again or get another one, it could stall you long enough to really build their board big enough that you just can't catch up.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. I think that Sapphire Steel is one of the most consistent decks that we're seeing right now. I think it's like an easy tier 1 pick at the moment.
Yeah. So Cinderella, we all suspected it would be good, and then set release and everybody's like, yeah, it really is good. What other cards in here were you surprised by or that overperformed for you?
I will say the Nomari 5-drop definitely overperformed for me. I knew going in it's a great card, but just being able to filter my deck and get rid of T-Pos and spooky sights and 1-jumps and strengths to get to a Tinkerbell and play that next turn, because like I said, the deck doesn't have very much draw. That was really important. A lot of the times my opponent would play like a Hades or some other big threat and deal with one of mine, and instead of playing my Hades to back, I would just set up my Namari and play it slow, and then Hades the next bigger threat that I was more scared of. And I think that Namari adds to the consistency, and it's probably has to be at 4.
Interesting.
The Goliath in our testing was like overperforming a lot, but in the tournament, it didn't do as much as I thought it would. I didn't find myself wanting to curve into it as often, but I think most of the time I was just ahead. When I did do it, it was good when I curved into it to force them into discarding cards into the green decks. That was very good. It just forces you onto 2 cards, and you get into that simplified game state that I was talking about, and that's just where you want to be. But it also has the problem where sometimes when you're winning, you don't want to play it because you don't want to give them cards because then you like are introducing more cards into the situation. So it's a very difficult card to play. You have to know when to use it. So yeah, I would say that card underperformed for me.
Yeah, it does seem like a bit of a gamble. Yeah.
I think it's one of those depends on the field cards. If you come up against a decent amount of Amethyst, I think is easily one of the best cards in the deck. But if you're playing the Mirror, or if you've come into Emerald Sapphire, who knows the matchup and they're already keeping their hand size small and just trying to combat you with their own bodies, it can be a really awkward curve for you. But yeah,
Exactly.
but I think a card like that's good. Like he's an inkable card, so like there's not really a lot of danger of slotting him in. And the times when he's good, he just absolutely back breaks the game for you.
And even when you don't want to play him, but you're forced into it, I mean, you still are drawing cards, and it's like not that bad. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like any like the worst situation is he draws you a card or two.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
And it turns out, I also really was leaning towards purple steel the days leading up to the tournament, but everyone else on the team was playing blue steel, and I couldn't beat them at all. Like got 2-0'd like 3 matches in a row and just gave up. And then so I felt extremely comfortable playing that matchup in the tournament. But I will say, I think some of the decks weren't built very, like they weren't updated as much as I expected them to be. Because like even in my top 4 match, when it was open deck list, I looked at his deck list and he wasn't playing the new 1-cost Olaf, which I think is like extremely, extremely good in that deck. And so I knew I couldn't lose, like, because that card hedges against the Tinkerbell and helps you you get 8 copies of Doc in your deck. And without that, I knew like there's no way that deck can beat me. And so I just as soon as I saw no Olaf, I put the deck list down and said I can't lose. And
Okay. No, it's great. Any other questions, Logan, or should we bring in our next guest?
No, I think that's pretty well just the gist of the deck. I agree. I think it was a really good week 1 pick. I think it's going to continue to be a deck that we're going to have to watch out for and be prepared for. I think it's one of those that we have enough tools to we can tweak and move and attack the meta however we want. I think Sapphire Steel's finally in like a tier 1 spot so RMB can shine.
Yeah. How long until somebody wants to keep blue steel down? How long until they ban something? I don't know.
Oh, like if any card's going to catch a ban, Sandy's absolutely going to catch a ban. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I will laugh. No, it is what I will. This is a fun just flavor comment. I don't know. It does feel good that the most broken card in the game right now, apparently, or pretty close to it, is that Cinderella Dreams Come True. If a Disney card game is going to have a broken card, you feel like it should be that, and not like Diablo or some other random character. So anyway. Okay, well, let's bring in our next guest because there were some other decks that I agree. I hope no bans, Eric. I hope, but we'll see.
I also hope no bans for the record.
Yeah, for the health of the game. All right. But yeah, so there's some other decks that performed well this weekend, some others that didn't. But I'm always excited when people are trying to make Emerald Amethyst go, because that's one of the decks in my heart. So then there's a couple of stalwarts who keep trying to make sure that deck is relevant. Artifacts is one of them. The other is my good friend and your teammate, Hayden, Mo Shamlin. There he is.
It's Mo.
Hey.
I think Mo's muted.
I think Mo's still muted.
Oh no.
He's figuring it out.
Figuring that out. It gives me a chance to say thanks for the super sticker, David Tran. Super fun. I forgot those existed. But thanks for supporting the show. Appreciate it so much, because Resteam subscriptions cost money, and I appreciate you. So I can't visualize the para character doing a classic mic drop, but I'm sure that sticker is delightful. So there you go. Mo, are you unmuted? Oh no.
Oh no.
No. Oh no. Okay, Mo.
Make sure you've chosen the correct audio source in the studio.restream.
Yeah, I had to change mine.
That is a mistake that I've made a couple of times.
Yeah. So in a few minutes we'll ask Mo to mime out his deck. Mo will be back and we're going to talk his deck list so shortly. Before we do that, just because we mentioned it, I want to talk about you talked about I'm going to bring Mo back in.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
There he is. It's Mo.
Hey.
I don't know.
I didn't kick him. He backed out himself, Joe. He backed out himself. So hey, how's it going?
Hey, it's going great. How are y'all doing?
Fine.
Dude, I get to see Mo on a Monday. That makes my life even better than it previously was.
Moan Day.
We're a family show, okay?
Oh, okay. I see. All right.
But Mo Mondays sounds like it could be a good series in the future, really.
Yeah, actually, I'm not opposed. We did have that Mo and Joe segment we are trying to do, and we split it up this set because Joe's coming on later. So Mo, you can hang out with him if you want, and we can do it. But I know you have limited time due to family. So
Yeah, excitement in my life, I suppose. But what's up? It's good to see y'all. It's been a minute since Milwaukee, at least.
Absolutely, since Milwaukee. Gosh, we need family reunions more often, Mo.
Agreed. You hear that, Ravensburger? More DLCs. Come on.
Yeah, right.
I need one a month again. Dang it! Come on.
Yeah,
Please.
I
I want to go back to Worlds, okay?
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
want to go to Worlds.
We want all of you at Worlds. Joke failed name. Oh my goodness. I try. Look, some I take swings. Some of them are hits. Some of them are misses. You know, you gotta. You
miss
gotta
100% of the shots you
try.
don't take, and we are professionals here. Every Monday, as you see, production flawless. No one
Flawless.
ever comes in with problems.
Down to, well, I've been on so many times, I didn't expect it. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to leave and come back and they'll fix it. It worked.
And it worked. Yeah. Did you start and restart? It was actually, we could hear the whole time. We were just playing a gag.
Oh, that would have been so fun.
Yeah.
I'll watch I'll watch it back and see if that's what y'all did.
Yeah. We did not. So yeah, I agree. More DLCs. I feel like they happen so infrequently now, or that was that was really the first DLC experience since. I mean, I guess you could call it Continentals because it was fairly open.
Literally Continentals.
Yeah.
So, and it feels like I didn't get to see like half the people I wanted to, and I barely got to talk to some folks. So, yeah, we need more.
It's a busy day.
It was a busy day. There's a lot going on. But yeah. So, how was your weekend, Mo?
Oh, fantastic! I got to test out my mostly theoretical deck, and it turned out to work pretty well for me. So I like it. I got to root on some homies. Some of them went pretty far in the tournament, as y'all were talking about.
Yeah.
Fantastic weekend. I got to see friends from out of town. I got to play in a crazy competitive crowd, like multiple Golden Mickey winners in it, like Continentals competitors nearly every round I played, like small but mighty, I would say the tournament turned out to be.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have 4 Golden Mickey winners stacked up in a room at an LGS, that's pretty crazy. It's cool. I'm gonna go back and look at your deck because don't have a lot of time. I do want to exchange pledge and cheese, but I also want to show off this thing of beauty here.
Obviously you had all 4 iconics, you had all the enchanteds, and this is like what it looked like when you played it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Easy. No, I borrowed every new card. So before I begin yapping about it, I just want to shout out Hayden real quick. Man's a grinder, like definitely deserved this win, and this isn't the only time he's been popping up lately. Y'all gotta watch out for him.
Okay.
So this is what I brought this weekend. It looks kind of strange because you don't typically see me on a more control style deck. It's very weird for a Mo deck, but that's very much what this deck is. Can I talk about my new favorite card real quick?
Is it Webby?
It's Webby. That card is fantastic. The shift line's fantastic. It's just such a gift from above to me. Like I don't even know. It's obvious its strengths against the blue decks, but even in other matchups, like plotting your Webby turns to dictate when you can get that extra card, and like just even delaying your opponent's ink because they don't want you to ramp and skip them is just such a fun mind game you find yourself in. It's definitely a Mo card, and I will play it as long as it's in the format.
So like, yeah, we were talking about in the early set, like Maelstrom, we put out a day 1 decklist video, and the 3 cards that we think are the strongest in the set are Cinderella, Webby, and I think Goliath is probably in that top 3. But like Webby is easily the best on the draw card in the game right now. So like, so talk to me a little bit more about, I mean, like, what were your matchups throughout the day? Obviously, it's how you punish Sapphire for ramping, right? Like, that's how you catch up. That's how you're just like, cool, all of a sudden, I get to play my bombs because you're trying to be greedy. But, like, let's talk about your matchups. Let's talk about some other some other situations other than
Yeah.
just against Sapphire that you're finding yourself using her?
Well, I played Sapphire 3 times. I got every variation of it. I got blue green. Well, not every variation, but every popular one: blue green, blue steel, blue purple, and I believe I 2-0'd all the ones in Swiss. The only deck to take me to 3 games in Swiss was this really inventive and exciting. Like it's the second star turbo red purple deck, and that's the one game that made me sweat. But I got to draw in pretty safely into top cut, and yeah, the matchup spread for this deck as a whole, it kind of eats like it just kind of eats Sapphire. It's fantastic. Even if you don't hit the shift line, like the 4 cost just does so much crazy stuff for the deck. Like I ink passed twice. I think it was on stream even. I think I ink passed twice and still managed to beat Blurple because I had this card on turn 4. It was wild. But the matchup spread for the deck is actually really cool. So blue decks are your favored. You feel pretty strong into them. The reason why I went for the control instead of a tempo-oriented deck, because y'all know tempo's my bread and butter. I think Spooky Sight, I like to call it Spooky Season, but that was a card I was afraid of this weekend because I don't know if it's correct for the blue decks to run that card. But if they did, it really messes up a low to the ground deck that's not an aggro deck. So didn't have the guts to play tempo this weekend just in case I ran into a turn 4 Spooky Sight. But I wanted the ability to go over the top of blue decks, and this did it pretty fantastically. If you look at its contemporaries, so if you match into blue green, you have the ability to have draw engines. You're the Clarabelle deck that doesn't rely on playing Clarabelle. You have tons of just other like draw outlets that keep your deck just flowing in the mid game, which makes you more consistent overall in that matchup. And then you have the same sort of high end bomb plays outside of Hades, but you've got the board wipe, you've got all the other stuff. Fantastic. Blue purple, so Blurple, it matches up really well into it because you have the same draw engines, but you have the combo in the late game, and you have a lot of kind of come from behind cards like Clarabelle, Go-Go, just lots of interesting ways to close out the game in that matchup. Outside of blue decks, purple steel is, I think it's play draw. It's been entirely play draw in testing. Like I think there may be one game that breaks the variance, but otherwise it's been entirely play draw when I've run against it. It does pretty well into the low to the ground purple steel decks, but the higher off the ground ones and the Goliath variants, it has a bit harder of a time into. But still ended up pretty well play draw throughout the thing. Amber Steel is not too bad, but obviously that deck can do Amber Steel things at times. If it's scary, I think 2 copies of Louis. I have a question for anyone here. Have you ever played a Louis on a Tiana? Have you ever played Ursula? Checked their hand for a song, played a Louis on their Tiana, watched their Tiana smash into your Louis, and then bounce the Louis with Madame Mim Elephant? They'll just scoop on the spot. It's beautiful. But yeah, it feels pretty solid. I mean, a lot of it could be variants due to it's a strange deck and people aren't used to it yet. It's definitely a me deck, and I know how to utilize a lot of these cards in just different situations and how to put value on different cards throughout game states. But overall, I felt really good into the field, and I feel like it's got a lot of room to grow. Yeah.
Can you talk about, I know we talked about this deck a lot, but can you talk about the Clarabelle package and why you settled on those numbers? Because that's really interesting. It was always interesting to me. And
Yeah. So I was testing because there's lots of ways to run this deck. You don't even have to run Clarabelle, but I think Clarabelle, You're Welcome, has just the biggest upside play in the game right now. Like you shift on 5 and sing You're Welcome on something. This deck can also shift on 4, which is kind of scary in some places. But you shift, sing You're Welcome, and then suddenly you're off to the races with your just powerful cards. But the numbers for this in particular, I hate Clarabelle 3 in this deck. I think I played her nearly every game, and I think I drew off her once. It's just hard because a lot of times decks will run out of cards, especially going for the Cindy plays, like the ramp into Cindy and then into Goliath or whatever they're going to do. It's just hard to find value with Little Clarabelle. But I wanted a shift target, and the one drop I just didn't feel like was doing enough right now. So,
Yep.
Yeah, like the kicker for the one drop just is basically just she may as well be a vanilla right now because there's just no items being run. So if you're
Yeah.
going to run one, you may as well try to get the 3 drop that has 3 willpower that has a shot of surviving a strength.
Yeah, sometimes I get to draw a card off it. That's kind of cool, I guess. Sure, she can sing "Mother Knows Best." That's one of my favorite parts about her.
I guess like another one that I saw that was, I mean, really interesting that I haven't tried out a lot was Iago. Like, how much did he do for you this weekend?
Oh my gosh! So I have 2 cards I really want to shout out. Well, 3. One of them is Webby because I knew she was good, and then I played her, and she was far better than I thought she was gonna be. Just in there, but Iago was a last-minute inclusion. Didn't test the card once. I needed a card that covered for specific situations against aggro and purple steel. And I was playing around with the thought of Hidden Cove, Improvise, and Iago. And at the end of the day, I just really liked what Iago could do. And yeah, and he functionally scales well in this deck. I put 5 damage on a Hades and got 10 off Go-Go's, so that was pretty cool.
I'm sorry. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So like he can do a lot, but I just like against the lower to the ground decks, you just want them to freeze. You want them to freeze and try to play their multiple Tianas, try to set up their board. And if you get them to freeze, you have a one-sided board wipe and lots of cards to help find you ways to get there. Like if they aren't killing you by then, you're doing pretty well. But yeah, I really like Iago.
The story. He's doing so well.
Exactly.
No, I mean, bro, you know me. I love Emerald Amethyst. I like the first deck I was testing this set was like the Brainiac version of Emerald Amethyst, just because of Webby specifically. I'm like, I get to be the control deck now.
Look at me.
Look at me.
But like, and this is somewhere in the vein of where I was. I put it out in our day one decklist video. But honestly, I mean, I like the numbers and ratios and just direction of this a lot more than what I was testing, to be honest. Like
so the Brainiac build is fantastic right now, and also I think a little bit not under the radar because everyone knows what it does at this point. But
it's not an easy deck to pilot at all. I don't think any variant like any variant of Emerald Amethyst with Webby right now that has a top end, I don't think is very easy to play.
Everyone just says, is Webby only good against Sapphire? And I'm like, no. Webby, no. Like you look at so I'm gonna talk about Webby again real quick, just so y'all. This is the Webby. Let's talk about Webby. Is what we're doing tonight. The card, like if you're playing against another deck without ramp, you look at your hand and you plot 2 to 3 turns ahead and you see which turn can I double play the same ink so I can stop inking, get a free Webby hit, and jump my opponent and see where we end up from there. Like you don't plan it around just take any free hit with it. You look at the body, you tell like this is the value I can get out of this card. I need to jump from 3 to 3 to 5 is my game plan. Like, and it saves you in cards too. It's really cool. Oh no. What Joe's saying there is scary. So funny story. I didn't own any Webbies. I still don't own any Webbies. Actually, I own 2 epics of the one drop because I wanted them. But they were $14 the day of the event. And after I posted my list on Twitter, they jumped up to 25. And I'm like, I don't even
Thanks, Mo. You just made them Mo expensive.
Mo said the thing.
It definitely creates really interesting game states. I know in some of our like a couple of our practice games, I just would stop inking. Like when I was playing Purple Steel, I knew I could play on like 3 ink better than them, so I just stayed on 3 ink we went back and forth on 3 ink for like 5 turns.
It makes some funny games happen when your opponent tries to mind game your Webby. Fun.
Because then they're like, do you even have the top end you're looking for? And you're like, no, ink, play my 3 drop. Ha! You played yourself.
Yeah. One other thing I want to talk about this deck real quick, and one of my favorite things, and one of the first things I thought about when I saw the boost mechanic. So using boost, bouncing your boost cards as a form of pseudo draw just adds another threat to it. Like, I played my opponent in one round and I had a Cheshire Cat and it was just putting in work, and I ended up stacking it 3 times. So there's 3 cards under it. The next turn, he leaves it on board. There's no good trades into it. And I use it to sing a Mother Knows Best on itself, bounce the 4 stack back to my hand, and I basically just drew 3 off my Mother Knows Best. And at the game after that, he was just like focused on taking out my boost characters before I could do anything silly. But just utilizing them with Elephant, I thought it would be cute, and it turned out to be really good. So that's always exciting when that happens.
You heard
Yeah,
it
I
here
wish you.
first, folks. You can build your own friends on the other side.
Yeah,
Yes, you can.
I really wish you would have played that 1-cost Olaf. I know you tested it a lot, but I really wish
It-
you would have settled on that.
Okay, so yeah, I see Color in chat talking about it too. It's such
Yeah.
a good card, and it
Mhm.
the cat's out of the bag. I can talk about it versus the green combo, like everyone
Yeah.
knows, but it just insulates your board against the Prince Philip combo, because the Olaf gets banished by the malicious, mean, and scary, and then you bounce your best card back to your hand, and so it allows you to just like play some serious mind games. With this deck, the Olaf has another dynamic of you have Gogo on the field, your opponent never turns sideways. Because it's just like you just make like these weird situations where they have like Vincenzo, like Vinny, Hades, and other things sideways, and or they can't turn it sideways because you're just going to put more damage and bounce the go-go and replay and just. But I love the Olaf, and I think it's a must play in tempo right now. Tempo / aggro. It's just so good.
I think it's another one of those cards that's just not. You don't just instantly play them on one. Like it's a card like Webby where you have to plan ahead. And I love that Emerald Amethyst is starting to get these tools where you have to think 2-3 turns ahead before you do things. Like you were talking about, you have to plan out your webbing turns. It's not just taking whatever free ink you can get. It's trying to mind game and say like, can I jump the next turn and make that more meaningful than if I just like take the free cut now.
Yeah, it's just I love this card. I'm so happy. Thank you, Ravensburger. You know, Set 9 was real hard on me. I struggled. I was a Blurple player for a time. Oh gosh.
The dark
Oh,
times.
No, I
Also,
love
aren't we
Blurple.
getting isn't there like a best of 1 DLC in like Singapore or something coming up?
There is. There
Yes.
is.
I think Webby might shine in that type of format too.
Webby is a fantastic card on the draw into any matchup, and it allows you to play curve in a weird way, and that throws your opponent off and gives you some advantages. Yeah, super cool.
Yeah. Eric asks, how do we feel about Megara?
The 3/4, I think it's 3/4 boost, and then it quests for 2, and your opponent discards when they hit into her, if I remember
Yes.
right. I
Yes.
really like it. The biggest downside is the 3-drop slot is kind of it's better in tempo when you're not going for the Prince Philip combo. Like, it's just solid statted. Anytime you can boost, something else I love about boost is it gives you something to do that doesn't involve playing a card. And in a format with tons of board wipes, like if you're playing a low to the ground aggressive deck, but you have something functionally that gives you a step ahead in the game without playing a card from your hand, it's amazing. And
Yeah.
like, you know, you boost something and boost it again and then get spooky seasoned, and you have 3 ink. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I love the boost mechanic for that reason. Rosewater, when the Magic dev, nowadays talks a lot, has a big article about what makes games interesting. And one of the things he goes on about, one of his the things he looks for when designing cards and sets is variance. And by variance, what he means is either cards that can do multiple things, or sets and cards and decks that give players more options on a particular turn, because that's where players feel like they have more agency. When you're playing a deck and like on a specific turn, it's like turn 4, I know I play Genie, like that is the play, that is what I do, that is the only play. Yes, you're doing the right thing, but it doesn't really feel like you have agency, because you're like, I'm doing the move that I have to do and I know what it is and everybody knows what it is. when you introduce cards that have multiple effects, or you have cards like Boost with activated abilities where you can set up different lines and you have so many resources, but you have so many different options that you can do with them, it makes the game feel a lot more fun because you feel like the skill expression is higher, but there's just more decisions. And that makes the game feel so much better. And it's one of the reasons that I just love the boost mechanic in particular. And then I love when you see it in a deck like this, where that boost gives you the added benefit of the card draw, et cetera. It just gives you so many more options, and it's so much more fun.
It's fantastic mechanic. I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. I like it a lot.
And I'm glad it seems like they kind of held back a little bit. Like, I was expecting some of these boost cards to be like the best cards in the set, but I'm kind of glad they weren't. They ended up not being the best cards in the set.
Yeah. But I mean, the potential though for the future is super cool. Now that they have the mechanic existing, like there's so many different ways you can take it, so many different things you can do with it. So yeah, I don't know. I love it. Yeah. Anyway, it's a good time.
Good, great time. Fantastic.
Morrow, yeah, Mark Rosewater. All right. Well, Mo, any closing thoughts like before for you based on this weekend, what you saw, what you've got coming up, anything at all? Like what else is going on?
So I'm real excited about set 10 because the card pool is just fascinating to me. I think there's just so many different things. I'm a deck builder. I'm not the most technical player in the world, but I'm maybe one of the best deck builders in the world. And I love when I have resources and options and different things I can do to figure out. It's a puzzle. You just solve it. Like, I didn't feel like I could solve Fabled. I didn't feel like I could necessarily crack the code, but I felt like I could in Nationals, which was set 6. I felt like I could in the Sapphire set 7 season. I felt like I could at Worlds, but this season brought that back to me. Set 10, I'm so excited. I love it. You're gonna see some weird stuff out of me, probably.
Yeah, that's awesome.
When Mo's excited, we're all having a good day.
Yes,
exactly.
I agree. Are you going to CCS, Mo?
I am. I
get to see Mo in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, you do. It's gonna be great.
That's a couple of weeks.
It's a CCQ, right? Like,
CCQ.
Oh,
yes, it is.
I want that Continentals invite, so I'm gonna be cooking up something.
I'll see you in the finals, dog. It's all right.
Let's go.
Hey, you going?
Unfortunately, I have no more time off from work because I went to Bologna, so I will not be going. But Richmond.
Yeah. Oh, good. Okay, that's good. We'll see you there.
PTO resets at the beginning of the year, boys and girls.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep. Anyway, well, good. We'll see you there. I can't wait to see what else you have coming up and brewing. Maybe we'll do when you're ready. You know, when you're not gonna spoil any secrets, maybe we'll do a deck tech video. You let me know.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I always spoil my secrets. Like round 2, I'm posting my deck list. Like, it's fine.
That's fair.
If you can tell me,
the Mo, they just immediately go to Twitter. It's like, hold on, wait.
Once a week, at least, I get a deck list from Mo, and I look at it, and I'm just like, what is going on?
It's the mind games. You look at it and you tell me how this deck is going to beat you. You can't. You don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's great.
They don't know your win condition. It's pretty good. They can't really beat it.
Secret is I don't either half the time. All right, I'm going to head out, y'all. It's great seeing everybody. It's great to be back on here. We got to do this again soon, guys.
Hey,
absolutely.
There are people with open invitations. Like, you want to come on, you just send us a note. And you're one of those. So, you know, just let us know.
Absolutely honored. Tell Joe I say hi, and y'all see me in chat just in a second. So peace out, guys.
All right.
Night, Mo. Love you.
Night.
One of the best people in all of Lorcana. Boom.
I love Mo so much.
Yeah, and makes the game a better place. But you know what rhymes with Mo?
Joe.
So we won't have on at the same time, but we're gonna bring him in now. Hey,
that's me. Okay, do you hear me?
Yes.
What?
Excellent. Okay, good.
We had a chance.
Listen,
I wouldn't believe you anyway. I see my green bar. I see it over there.
You can't lie to me.
You can't lie to me.
I'm
the judge. You can't lie to the judge. It's legal.
That is true. That is true. All right. Well, love talking to Mo. Love talking to Joe. We kind of bring Mo and Joe on like every time a new set comes out, sometimes together for a fun segment that I've yet to make a little fun title card for, but I will. And sometimes separately, but we love talking to Mo about cards that he thinks are going to be good and what he sees coming up in the meta. We love talking to Joe from a judge perspective about cards that he thinks will confuse people.
Yep.
Look,
That's
every
the
set
one.
comes out. There are a few things that because people bring up weird niche odd interactions, and the two people I ever message would be like Speedy or Googly, because one or both of them is going to either A, answer me immediately, and B, always have the correct answer.
Yes.
Yep.
Hopefully.
And it's true, because if we can this like on this show this week like prevent half the judge calls out, because the whole Lorcana community watches obviously, so if we can prevent half the judge calls into DLC on this segment right here, you know what, it's a win for
Right
everybody
here, right now.
It's a win for everybody. So let's go through some cards. I asked Joe, or rather he knew I was going to ask, so he just sent them to
I
me
did.
preemptively. What cards would you like to talk about that you think have interesting rules interactions that we need to clear up for folks tonight? And if you all, before I bring them up, if you all in the chat, or Hayden or Logan, if you all have any cards that you want us to talk about, let us know.
I have a great one to start off.
Oh, okay.
The Cauldron.
Oh,
Cauldron. I didn't put it on my list, but
Well, I was wanting to play that deck, but I was wondering, when I tap it and pay my ink and I can play characters from underneath it for free that turn,
not
do
for
I
free.
get to play the cards that have alternative play costs? Do I get to play them that way? Such as Bell and Scrooge,
so
McDuck.
things like Shift are actual alternate costs, and and it's not for free, by the way. You said for free.
Yeah.
You still have to pay for them.
Yeah.
But yes, you can shift and stuff. Bell and Scrooge are not technically alternate costs. They're activated abilities. So we actually don't know yet. This is one we've asked Kyle, and he was like, how did you guys, why? What was Kyle's basic response? So we don't know. We're waiting for him to talk to the design and development team and see how they want that to go. My guess, probably not. My guess is you won't be able to play a Bell, banish the Cauldron that you just pulled her out from underneath, and put her into play for free. But you might be able to. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
So I can't help you with that one, unfortunately, because we don't know yet.
See, I don't know is also a viable answer.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hopefully we'll know
Depends
before
on the head
January.
judge, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if it actually comes up, somebody will have to make a ruling.
I almost played it on
that,
Saturday.
but-
When I got off at 7:30 in the morning, that's what I was playing. But I didn't know how it would get ruled, so I played Blue Steel.
I'm glad you decided not to.
Yeah.
So I just went and won the tournament with something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
the web we weave.
yeah. That card, I can't wait to see that card do something fun at some point. I love the flavor of it. Okay, that was on the list because I don't know, but it's awesome. It was a good question.
I thought about it. I was trying to keep it.
Yeah. Well, again, let's keep bringing them up. So Rapunzel here is on your list.
Yes, Rapunzel is on my list because lots of people are always asking, like, as soon as he was revealed, people are asking, what if I support somebody twice? What if I do that? And the answer is we just got a rules change specifically to address this. If you give a character the same replacement effect, so in this case, it would be whenever they would be dealt damage, they take no damage instead. That's a replacement effect. If they have that exact same replacement effect twice, and you use one of them, the rest of them just disappear. Just because that's what the rules say.
Out of curiosity, I was always under the impression you couldn't give a character support twice.
So you can't give a character the same keyword twice, right? So you can't give a character support twice, but you can choose a character with support twice. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
okay. So
that's what Rapunzel is.
Okay, we're saying the same thing, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're right.
Your verbiage is important, though. Your verbiage is very important. Like it's the semantics of it for this card specifically are very, very important.
Yeah, I try to use the right words.
Yeah, no, like
doesn't always come out the right way.
No, but I appreciate that. It's a very important distinction for a card like this when it's doing something powerful.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And people immediately want to try to do something to abuse.
Broken.
Yeah, they like want to abuse it,
Basic.
push it, see how far it can go. So you have to like where's the line in the sand, right? Like where's the actual beginning and end point?
So there's actually another interesting thing with Rapunzel that we don't know yet, which is if the character also has resist, and resist reduces the damage to 0. Does that still use up Rapunzel's ability? And on that one, again, we don't know yet.
See, like
Kyle again
I
was
thought
like,
we had the ruling where
y'all.
I thought we had the ruling where they are still taking damage if they have resist. It just doesn't. They don't take. Does that make sense?
No. So if resist if resist reduces the damage to 0, the character never took damage in the first place.
But you're still dealing damage to the character.
No, you're not. You're not. It still counts as paying a cost because you've already gone past, like you've gone through the checkout, if you like. You've paid the cost, and then you just didn't pay the money, but you still paid the cost. It's confusing. Okay?
No,
it's not my fault.
No. Like that in particular does confuse me because I've always been under the assumption that resist still takes damage. It just reduces the damage taken.
So as long as it doesn't reduce it to 0, yeah. But if it is reduced all the way to 0, then it counts as not taking damage at all. So you didn't deal 0 damage. You just didn't deal damage.
Okay, so that's another
which is
one.
why is an open question. Yeah.
Yeah. So this matters a lot. Okay. So,
So that's another I don't know. So we've opened with 2 I don't know questions.
I mean, like again, very important distinctions because while they're pretty niche, right? Like, I think it's kind of uncommon that we're going to see this kind of thing come up. It's still very important to know.
It's interesting. Yeah. It's interesting to me. I don't know if it's interesting to everybody.
No, so like, I mean, as somebody who grinds and plays the game a lot,
Ariel.
if you run, you're going to run into random possible niche scenarios all the time. I mean, we see like impossible board states as set champs every week. There's a set champ, right?
Oh yeah.
Because you see some stuff at set champs.
People
So
bring in whatever they
somebody
want.
exactly. So like eventually we're gonna see something with a Rapunzel resist deck, and people are gonna like, nope, because Googly said week 1.
Yeah.
Googly said.
I saw it on Illuminateers. This is what happens.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, it's a fun card to open on. That only took us like 10 minutes.
Look, it happened.
Hey,
she's
she's
the biggest
right
one because she had 2 things to talk about.
Yeah, that's fun. All right, Ariel, I picked the iconic version because it's the most beautiful card in the game.
Because it's hard to read the ability on it. Good job.
Yep, I'll say that.
You just gotta
I'll
pull
read
it
it to
to
you.
light right and squint real hard.
Once during your turn, whenever you play a song, if there's a card under this character, you may draw a card. Sounds simple, right? But
Yep.
what if, when you play that song causes Ariel to leave play? It bounces to your hand or goes to the discard or slides under your deck, whatever. What happens then? Do you still get to draw?
Yes.
No.
Because
No,
there's no
you
longer
don't.
a card under Ariel.
Because when she leaves play, she doesn't have a card under her anymore. That's exactly right. So
Wow.
You
be
negated
careful.
the draw condition.
Yeah, you screwed it up. If you mother knows best your own Ariel, you've messed it up.
If you have a card under it, you're getting that card anyway. So yeah.
That's true.
I built my
That's
own
true.
friends on the other side.
Good point. Yeah, if you bounce her, you do get that free card,
Just not
Okay.
the card from her effect.
but not the one from her effect.
Good note. Good note. Okay.
That was
all
it.
right.
That was that one. Easy one. Simple one.
The Horned King.
Ugh.
You picked
Now,
this for Logan.
this is a throwback to season one, set one. I mean, with the old Dr. Facilier card, right? I just want to remind everybody that if a stack is banished, so a boost stack or a shift stack, if it's banished, it separates in the discard pile, and then you only get the top card back to your hand.
Yeah.
Just want to remind everybody of that one.
We actually had a reminder about this in our Discord. Yeah, that's very important.
Great.
Somebody
So-
was trying to do the combo of like banishing the Horn King and getting all the boost cards back, and we're like, no, this is not how that works.
Doesn't work that way. So usually a stack will alternate. Well, not usually. It does work the same way, but a stack always travels together, right? So if you
Yes.
bounce a stack to your hand, you get the whole stack, just like that Cheshire Cat thing that that Hayden and Mo were talking about. Just like anything, Or if you ink it, it all goes to the inkwell. If you banish it, it all goes to the discard pile, and then an effect resolves, right? So then the Horned King's triggered ability will resolve, and you only get this little top card back instead of the whole stack because it already moved. It's already gone to the discard pile, and it breaks into a million pieces, or probably like 3 pieces. I don't know.
Or realistically, like 2 pieces, but who's counting?
Yeah. Okay, that's a good note. And unfortunate.
Very sad.
Stick with the character.
The other Horned King. Okay, I put these guys next to each other because they work together, right? If your guy gets banished and then gets bounced to your hand, guess what? He just left your discard pile. It doesn't feel like he did because he went straight to your hand, because that's usually how people do it. But he didn't really. Really, he went to your discard, and now he's in your hand. So he will count for this other guy's ability. If you
good to
banish
know.
a character and then return it to your
Oh.
hand.
Yeah.
Like once you know that rule, it makes complete sense and it's intuitive, I guess. And you're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And you kind of remember it. But like until somebody tells you that rule, like you do not think of a card working that way, right? Like,
I mean, inherently, like the word banish means the card goes to the discard. It's just
right.
if they have effects that resolve afterwards, like it happens from the discard, the zone that they're in. So, okay.
When you think about it, it makes
There we go.
complete sense. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, that's why that works. But like when you're in the game, you're just like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to pick this up. Like you don't move it to your discard and then bring it to your hand. So you just kind of like short circuit that.
This is why some shortcuts hurt, kids.
That's right. That's why you shouldn't untap
That's
your
right.
ink at the end of your turn.
Yes.
Please.
I've been
Please
yeah.
no.
I've really been drilling that into myself as well. Like, don't tap all of your ink if you didn't use it. Don't untap your ink till the start of your turn. It's going to be very relevant at some point.
Someday you'll live to regret it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Shere Khan. I like this guy. He's great. And I pulled lots of him, so I want him to do really well and get really popular and become very expensive. But also, he has this fun little word in there that says then, which is tricking everybody. It's messing everybody up. So
I
his
had a
ability
question
says,
about this card this weekend. I was filming my video and a player calls me over and asked me the question I think you're about to address. But go ahead.
So let me tell you. He says banish chosen opposing damaged character, then put a damage counter on another chosen character. And because it says then, it kind of tricks people into thinking you have to do the banishing part in order to do the damage placing part. But you don't. Even if there's no damaged characters to banish, or if the damaged character has ward or whatever reason you can't get rid of that guy, you still get to pop a damage counter on something else. Because it's two separate effects, two separate effect clauses. They're not related to each other. Then sounds like it joins them together, but it does not.
Yep.
So is this kind of the universal rule for Lorcana, like the do as much as you can?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Even if
I think that's one of those things that some people tend to forget. There are instances like this one where do as much as you can tend to, I guess, fix all questions and problems.
Yeah. And it feels weird, right? Because it feels like you banish it and then you put a damage on something else. That's how it works. You do this and then you do that. But even if you can't, you still do as much as you can.
Well, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, kind of like the old Storm question, right? Like, if you don't do the damage, do you still draw the card?
Mm-hmm.
Same rules apply, I think.
Yeah,
exactly right.
It's funny you mentioned that because again, I did have a player call me over this weekend and ask me that exact question, and that was my answer. I was like, yeah, you do that, then do that. If you can't do that, you still do that.
Good job, Liam.
Look at Liam.
I thought you'd be proud.
All right, I saw a big thread on Facebook about this one. This was very confusing for some people.
If a character was banished this turn, this character gets. Oh, okay.
So yeah,
what was confusing?
I've seen a lot of people feel like that +2 strength is permanent and forever.
Oh,
because they think it works like a triggered ability, right? When a character is banished, this character gains +2. But it doesn't mean that. You got to think that.
It says
think-
if and this turn.
Yeah, so you're thinking about the turn as a lump, right? And if a character was banished during this turn, this character has +2 strength. As soon as we finish this turn and we move on to the next turn, that's not true anymore because it's a new turn. That +2 goes away.
Yeah.
That's how it works because it's a static ability, not a triggered ability.
Yeah.
But some people had that mixed up, so we thought
I could see why the wording would be. I can see how the wording could be confusing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just so Lorcana pilled that I see, I see like the phrase "this turn" and immediately my brain's like, "Yep, that's it. That's the cut.
Yeah.
This turn."
Well, nothing
So
lasts
done.
beyond. There's no like plus strength augmentation counter, right? Like so.
Not that like stays forever, unless you're like something like hand sisu, but that's like, that's a
Yeah.
different. That's
There are things that last forever, but only while the character's in play, for example.
Yeah.
And because it says if, and it's just yes or no, this does not stack. It's a 4-1 or a 2-1. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Only maxes out at +2. Can't ever trigger it twice. You can't trigger it at all because it's not a trigger.
Yeah. All right, Mulan, standing her ground.
All right, a similar kind of thing, right? This is another static ability, which for this one it comes down to shifting. People asking about shifting. If I have boosted another one of my characters and then I shift on top of Mulan, does the shift Mulan also take no damage from the challenge? No. No, she doesn't. Because this is a static ability. So once you cover it up, it goes away. It's not a triggered ability that applies a static effect. So if it said, for example, during your turn, when you put a card underneath one of your characters or locations, this character takes no damage from challenges for the rest of this turn or until the end of the turn. Then it would work with shift. But because it's not a trigger, it's only static. It only works when this specific card is the top card of the stack, right? So if you cover her up, she takes damage from challenges again.
Okay, so this is what makes the difference between this Mulan shift and, for instance, the Jim Hawkins shift.
Sure. Or Lady is another one. The Lady
okay,
that
yeah,
gains
yeah.
strength. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Because those are both triggers. So they're triggered abilities that give challenger or they give plus strength. Whereas Mulan just can't take damages.
Okay. I would have gotten this wrong. So
yeah, it's tricky because it's just a very slight difference in wording that changes how it works.
Yeah. Okay. This is actually really, really good to know. I would have got it wrong, like flat out.
Lots of people do.
Somebody asked a question on the last card. Mother Gothel also works in your opponent's turn. Yes, and I believe yes, right?
Yes.
Yep. Same thing. So you go. All right, boom. We got to cruise through the last few. Get to safety.
Okay, I got bad news for everybody.
Oh no.
Get to safety obviously is meant to work with Sleepy Hollow, right? Sleepy Hollow is a 3-cost location, so you're supposed to, thematically, right? You're supposed to get to safety, and everybody runs to Sleepy Hollow. You grab Sleepy Hollow out of your discard pile, you put it into play, and then you get to draw a card. It doesn't work.
Aww.
Because Sleepy Hollow, because of the way the rules are written, Sleepy Hollow that you play from the discard pile doesn't enter play until after you check to see if you have one in play.
Oh no.
So this card, it's meant to work that way. It was tested to work that way, but it doesn't. So right now it's just broken, right?
It is broken.
From what I understand, they plan to fix it. Either, I don't know how, with a rules change, a rules update, or with an errata for the card. But for right now, it's just sad times for Ichabod and his buddies.
So, okay, just for my simple brain, explain why.
So I don't remember the rules reference off the top of my head, but one of the rules in the ability section, when you play a card as part of an effect, it waits to enter play until the entire ability or effect has resolved, right?
Oh.
So
okay.
you will play Sleepy Hollow, and you do that like play action, and it triggers other things or whatever, but it doesn't actually go into the play zone until after you've read. If you have a location in Sleepy Hollow in play, draw a card. You don't yet until you finish that sentence, and then it appears.
It's unfortunate.
It
I
is
love-
unfortunate. It's annoying. And
Okay, so I mean, it's in the same vein of like, it's the same vein of ordering. Like, say you had a Muses in play and you played a Sudden Chill. The Sudden Chill has to resolve before the Muses effect goes off, right? So like,
yeah, it's similar to that in that the rules enforce a particular order.
yeah. So like that's okay. That's how that makes sense in my brain, which is much more simple than some other.
You
people.
have basically you have to finish what you're doing before something else starts.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why that makes sense. But I would have gotten this wrong too.
Well, I mean, you're not alone, since the entire design and development team also got it wrong for the
Love
entire
that.
testing period of this
Love that
cover.
for
Throw
This one is-
a little shade there.
you clip that and put it online. You love the flavor wins, the flavor losses. Like, so bad.
Yep. Sorry. Be the bearer of bad news.
Anyway, all right. Well, fine. There's gonna be and they're not gonna like errata anything. There's just gonna be a new card printed, like a next set called this time really get to safety, and with,
Time actually get there.
actually get to safety. All right, Pluto. We have
This one's real quick. I
here we
just
go.
wanted to point out that it's written weird, but if you do not have a detective character in play, you get to put an item card on the top of your deck. It's not talking about not having an item and putting your detective on top of your deck. That's just a really weird way to have written the ability. So there's no weirdness. It's just if you have a detective in play, you get an item in your hand. If you don't have a detective in play, you get an item on your deck.
Oh,
Yeah.
people were okay.
I think
Okay.
this is
It's just a
frustrating
weird ability text.
way to word it. Like I think doesn't like wrong lever or pull the lever do this differently, where it's like do this thing, and then if you have this in play, you can do this instead. I feel like this should have been done the same way.
Yeah.
Like
Wrong lever has 2 bullets, so you choose.
yeah, to me it would have been like put a card, on top of your deck. If you have a detective character in play, you may put it into your
Hand instead.
instead.
That would also have been great. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
This is
that.
just a weird one.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, good. Oh God.
This is a quick one. It's fine. I just want to point out if you have exactly 2 cards in hand, his ability never goes in the bag, and you never do anything. That's all.
Yeah.
Which is great if your opponent has Goliath and you have Clarabelle, by the way.
Mhm.
Although, I mean, how many cards are they going to have in hand for Clarabelle? But you never know. You can draw up with Clarabelle, maybe, and then not have to discard. Possibly. But if you have exactly 2, he doesn't do anything. Because he doesn't go in the bag.
Because of the phrase if they.
Yep. So even because your opponent's Goliath would always resolve after your abilities, right? So if you've got anything that lets you draw at the end of your turn, that'll resolve first. But if you started with 2 cards, Goliath never went in the bag, so you don't have to discard down.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
That makes sense. I'm
Yeah,
trying to go
makes
fast.
No. It makes
That makes
sense.
sense.
What did I put this one on here for? Oh yeah. This one is I've seen a lot of questions about is it lots of little instances of 2 damage? Is it like ping 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 ping? We had the same question with the Strength of a Raging Fire thing. The card that was almost exactly the same as Strength of a Raging Fire. What was it called? Oh no. Doesn't matter. You just do all the math first and then you do 1 lump of damage. So it's not like
Oh, okay. So it's not okay.
So if you had if you chose a resist 2 character, it wouldn't all get eaten up by resist 2, resist 2, resist 2, resist 2. It would just do 6, for example. -2 would be 4. You do all the math first, and then you do a bunch of damage.
Okay. Also a very important distinction.
It is sometimes.
All right.
I mean,
That
sometimes
card
you
was
just-
so much fun.
Oh, was it? Did it go off for you?
It was so much fun. Yeah. Not doing the
been a
doing the
random.
die roll every time got kind of annoying eventually, like the fifth or sixth time of the match, but no, it was really fun.
Just go 3 cards at random. Yeah. It's gonna be good. All right. This is the last card you sent me.
The last one. Okay. What happens if more than one character has challenged before Prince Charming is played?
Ooh.
Then nothing else can challenge.
What if I ready something that already challenged? Can it still challenge?
Probably not.
I would say no, but it is interesting because the
No,
way
I think the same character can challenge, can he not? Because it says only one character. So
But what if multiple characters have challenged that turn? I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah, if multiple characters have challenged before Charming comes in. Let's pretend it got played off of Mufasa or something.
then
oh man,
No.
it breaks the game and the
The whole it just explodes.
kind of ends.
board goes into black hole. I don't. So my first assumption would be nothing else can challenge.
Yes, that's right. It's just a no. Even if you ready the old characters that challenge, they still can't re-challenge. Normally, if only one thing is challenged, that thing can re-challenge, right? Because that's the same character challenging repeatedly. That's fine. Like a Monstro can pop up and challenge, pop up and challenge, pop up and challenge. That's fine. But if multiple things have challenged and Prince Charming comes in, he's just like, what? What are you guys doing?
He does a Pete referee.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that. He pops up just like Pete.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to know that my
Whoa,
first
whoa,
inclination
whoa.
was correct.
Not that that's ever going to happen.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it will at some point.
Look,
And
bro, it's gonna
all
happen in the
those-
stat champs somewhere.
This Amber Steel Mufasa builds.
yeah, she's sort of like, whoa, 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 whoa,
Infinity
whoa.
Mufasa builds.
That's enough. That's enough challenging. All right,
There you
chat.
go.
Any cards we missed before we wrap this part?
Any other questions?
Hayden, Logan, anything else we missed?
I'm trying to think.
No,
did have-
I mean those are all like honestly really good point. A couple of them I genuinely would have gotten wrong. So
One thing that happened to me, I sang a Beyond the Horizon, and I picked up my cards and drew, and he said, you didn't decide if you were going to let me draw my cards before you drew your cards. And I said, well, I wasn't. That's why I resolved the card. But I feel like the judge seemed like he agreed with him because it was in top 4. But I don't know if I need to declare that I'm not letting my opponent draw their cards before I resolve my Beyond the Horizon. I know that would be proactive and good to do, but do I have to?
Probably. I mean,
Right? Like my card's resolving already.
yeah. I mean, so the first thing on the card is choose, right?
Mhm.
So
Okay.
it's probably better to choose verbally rather
Yeah.
than keep it to yourself.
Well, I just
Um,
I just feel like it's if I'm already picking up my cards, I'm not going to choose you after I've revealed more information to myself. A judge isn't going to allow me to do that anyway.
Yes,
So
that's true. You would
yeah.
not. You wouldn't be able to do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
but I don't know. It's still one of those like if you want to keep a clean
Mhm.
if you want to keep a clean game state and clean board state, it's kind of like the second star things that happen, right?
Yeah.
Like it's always better to just verbally declare I choose myself.
Yeah.
it's
just
be as
because
clear as you can be.
yeah, because then
Just to make
it takes
everybody's
away
lives
the he
easier.
said she said problems, and like if a judge call has happened, you can then point to the I did say I choose myself.
Yeah. I guess the lesson is don't let someone do that to you.
Yeah.
Don't let them draw cards and then choose you.
And be like, oh, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I want you to draw.
Yeah. That's funny. Last question from the chat. Somebody asked, Cinderella using an extra ink or extra turn ink from a Basil trigger.
Yes, you can do that.
There you
we actually did a quiz talking just about that exact interaction.
The discard Basil?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because when Cindy inks, she inks ready.
Ready.
So you can use that ink always to pay for Basil. So you'll always have it. It's always handy.
Wait.
Yeah.
Because Basil's triggered by putting something in the inkwell, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Because your turn's not over yet because of Cindy's ability if you have a Basil in place. Okay.
Mhm.
For a second, my brain broke, and I was like, wait.
That's all right. I only know the abilities like off by heart because
Yeah,
we just did the quiz on it. Otherwise, I would have to double check.
that's fair. I every time somebody talks about one of these old cards, I'm like exploring my mind palace, like trying to push aside lyrics to Disney songs and find that card.
Baker
But,
singing, be prepared. Like,
Yeah.
ah,
Guys,
always
it's so
important
loud,
to look at the
always.
exact text too.
Yeah.
Because like the card we were just talking about, whichever one it was, Mulan, right? The exact nature of the wording makes so much difference to how the interaction goes. So
yeah, making it
always
static.
refresh your memory.
Making it static as far as like a triggered makes a big difference.
Yeah, I saw somebody on Reddit. This is a silly story. I saw somebody on Reddit complaining that their judge had to look at the cards on stream before making a ruling, and I was like, bro, you want your judges to look at the card. You don't want your judges to be making a ruling based on their vague recollection of card text. You want them to reread. Like, that is a good thing. That is a green flag, dude, not a red flag. It was very silly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Same goes for commentators. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Man, I can't believe the commentator had to read the card before. Jeez.
Before talking about how it works.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, that was Mo and Joe, separated a little bit by time and space, but there you go for the set. We are going to wrap up this week just by going around the horn, making sure that we got any last thoughts, and then I'll say some thank yous to some folks. But first, Hayden, like, what do you got coming up? How can people follow you? All that stuff. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, shout out Team Infinity. We did great this weekend. 4 of us made top 8. Shout out Cody and Zach and also Mo for making top 8 as well. It was fun. I enjoyed it way more than Fabled meta. There was a lot of complex decisions that seem easy on the surface, but in practice actually aren't. So I'm really interested to see how the meta develops. Looking forward to Richmond.
Yeah, same. That's a whole can of worms we didn't talk about tonight. Maybe we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Sorry.
Maybe we'll talk about that. No. It just occurred to me that we hadn't addressed it at all. But maybe next week. But no, I'm excited you'll be there, Hayden, for sure.
Yeah.
Joe, will you be at Richmond? And any closing thoughts from you?
I don't know yet. We won't hear back on hiring until I think December. So I don't know yet. I will be at Collectors Expo next weekend. And I will be at CCS at the start of December. So I've got a busy few weeks coming up as well. What else have I got going on? That's kind of it. I don't know. Follow me on Twitter or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and you can always find him in the Reddit trenches as well.
Yep, Reddit, Facebook, Discord. Just ask a rules question and I'll probably turn up. I don't know.
Correcting the wrongs of so many.
I am now weirdly the official head judge of the 20 lore Discord.
Yeah.
That's happened since I was on here last time.
Huge congrats, by the way.
Thank you. That was a random surprise on a I don't know, Monday or whatever it was.
I remember Snobby making the announcement and I was like, I mean, like, that fits. That makes sense.
I'm always there.
Yeah. I do like saying brawling in the Reddit comment, because that's really what it is. Like, if you have not seen it and explored the depths of Reddit rules debates, like, you really should sometime. It's
I don't know. I don't always come up smelling of roses in those discussions.
If you ever have a free afternoon and you're just bored, I mean, like, it's not a bad way to spend some time.
Yeah. And Logan, anything we missed?
No, I don't believe so. Whispers is fun. Play Whispers.
Yeah.
Continue to play Whispers. Byproduct of Whispers. Spend your money on Whispers.
We should do a whole show Whisper. No, I agree. It's a great set. It's a lot of fun to open.
The Illuminateers ASMR, and here we are talking about Whispers in the Well.
Whispers. We just need a sound effect that's like soundboard that plays that every single time. Also, I threw on the Team Infinity hat. I'd wear the Maelstrom hat, but I just checked again. So
Okay.
yeah, just gonna throw that out there again. But no, thanks to everyone for all of our guests for joining us. Thank you for everybody who hung out with us tonight or watched even some of the show. We appreciate all of you. I do have to give a special shout out to a few people. One, our Patreon subscribers who help support the show. Their names are in the credits at the front. Really appreciate you all because subscriptions cost money, and this is a lot, so I appreciate you. Also, I finally figured out. Oh, thanks, Scotty. I finally figured out how to turn on subscriptions on Twitch, so we have like 7 of those now. So huge thanks to all of those folks who randomly subscribed. I didn't know it was happening when it happened, but like a thing happened, and then there was like a hype train, and then like my computer started to explode, and it was a lot of fun. While I did some
Woo.
stuff. So
Get that Amazon money.
yeah, yeah, and thanks, Scotty, for the super chat. That's fun as well. And a couple new mods on the Discord server. So shout out to those folks who've stepped up and are helping out there.
Chad and Trevor.
Say again?
May. Chad, Trevor, and May.
Yes. Oh, I was talking about our Discord server, but also the official Discord server.
Sorry.
Because those are all amazing people too. We actually did a collab with May recently, and she's amazing. So it was fun seeing her get that nod, and all the people doing the work in the official Discord server to keep that running. I think that was all of the thank yous that I needed to say. Scotty, thank you again for the super chat. And